Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 111. Once again, our best work is usually done before we hit record. You guys missed all the laughs.
That's true.
But this is your favorite Serie A podcast coming to you live, 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday night. I don't even know where. Probably Twitch, maybe YouTube.
Right now, just Twitch, going to YouTube after.
Right now, just Twitch. This is the Everybody's Fired episode, and you guys will find out why. But I'm Frank. Say hello, Chris, Dan, Pietro. Say hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
All right.
We thought it was going to be a boring week, but then breaking news happened today.
I appreciate Juventus doing most of their main news right before our show. That's very nice of them to give us something to talk about. So we'll get into that. For those of you guys that don't know, Juventus fired pretty much everyone today. So that's a new start of Juventus. But
not everyone, because you've been saying Allegri out, and he's the one who survives.
He's going to survive because they need a coach on the field. But so who wants to run down at what actually happened in the bloodbath today? You guys want to start there before we go into the U.S. and the World Cup?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you kind of already said it. They got rid of everyone, right? And I think Daddy was saying before that part of it is due to the finances that were some shady stuff going on.
Well, there's questions about their finances and if they're doing stuff properly. So it's the president, the CEO who had to resign, Nedved had to resign, the entire board had to resign, and mostly because of the financial issues.
And you know what? And the only one who wanted to resign is still there.
I just said
Chris,
that. Yeah.
Dan just said that, yeah.
Wait, but also, like, I don't want anyone to lose their job or anything like that, but, like, how nice is it going to be watching Juventus games and not having the camera pan to Nedved anymore?
I know. Just stand there.
Yeah, but Chris, you say that now, but, like, the guy was a great player. Like, don't let it take away from what
he was, but I think he's terrible at his current job.
Well, I think the only reason he was there is because he had relationships with what's his name, the main guy, the main,
Daniele.
the main. No, not Daniele. Yeah. Besides that, I think he had a good relationship with the main super agent that died.
No,
what was his name?
just Andrea.
No,
what's his name? The agent that died. Raiola. Yeah. Ned, like. That kind of comes into play too, right? When you're negotiating all these players.
Yeah, what's got to do with Raiola where you went?
Well, because you want to have a good relationship with the guy who runs all the players. How do you think you get the players?
He does have a lot of top players.
He did have a lot of top players. Yes, he did.
Listen, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I mean, it's now looking at Juventus and seeing, because they've announced like a little something here and there, but like. We all thought there would be changes. You know, the rumors of Agnelli was, before the season that he might be going and that, Elkan might take over or hire someone else. So I'm not totally surprised. I'm kind of surprised that it happened right now.
Yeah.
Well,
we thought they were going to be fired or hope there was going to be changes because of their incompetence on the soccer field. Yeah. This seems like it has more to do with, the financial.
No, but even financially, like, they lose money constantly.
They lose money,
them and Barcelona are the teams that lose the most money every year.
Yeah.
So,
and for a team that's public, right, and people are putting their money in that's never a good thing.
Yeah.
What's a false balance?
Yeah, well, to have false balance sheet, like where they have enough evidence, that's what we think is going on. By the way, for those people that are listening, there's a lot more questions than answers right now because this only happened a few hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, info's still coming out.
Yeah, info's still coming out, but something came down for them to say, okay, we're cleaning house with everybody, right?
Yeah, because technically they resigned.
I think for them to quit, to resign, right?
They knew something was better.
It's better for Juventus.
Yeah. Well, this was resigned because we're respecting them as who they are.
Yeah.
Agnelli and Nedved, but this was you're all going to be fired, so we need you all to resign. That's what this is. This wasn't like they all were randomly woke up one day and they actually decided to quit. This was like there's some bad things coming our way. You guys are the people in charge, so you're responsible. So we're going to need you to all be.
Yeah, we're giving you the out. You better take it.
So one of the questions I have is, do you guys think that this is going to affect the play on the field at all?
No.
Not directly, no. Unless this gets dragged out in some kind of crazy now like tomorrow another shoe drops of some investigation with potential, big fines or
No, but
issues with Juventus.
Yeah, but you see what up? They realize, right? They realize that they cannot do deal like you did with Ronaldo and things like that.
Mhm.
Now, the last one, did you hear? Rabiot asked the double what he made.
Well, so that's what I was going to ask. Like, does this affect Rabiot saying, "Oh, I'm going to go somewhere else because you guys are
They
unstable"?
go, bye.
Good, yeah, it may.
No,
So
actually,
again,
you know
that's-
what I would do if I was Juventus? I
Sell him
would
now.
sell him in January. Would make
Yeah, I
five,
would make a
6
couple
million.
bucks, honestly.
He's played
Um,
very well in the World Cup.
Yeah,
by
I
the
would
way.
make a couple dollars.
His stock has
Yeah,
never
guy,
been
whatever.
higher.
I would make something.
I would make something because his contract's running out. The thing is, it's
That we're going to get the same position with him and without him.
Yeah.
so the thing is
Whatever
where
you
it
know.
could affect us though, and Dan's right. If there's some kind of issue where there's like because they get in trouble, there's like a year or two, and I don't even know if this is on the table, a year or two where they can't spend money, let's say, right?
Well, yeah, I think they just have
window.
No, but
they have to be more careful with how they
no,
spend
but
because people are
now
watching.
they already realized they have to do what Milan is doing.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, but we've been
young
saying that
people.
forever, right? Like this was
With
the whole.
younger people and not to spend too much on salary.
So what you do have to hope for, though, Frank, is that there is no like sanctions against them where like we can't play in the Champions League.
That's
You're-
right.
Exactly. You're not getting
I don't think
anyone.
nothing
Exactly.
that
Like
is coming.
so, not only we're not getting one, if they do some sanctions where they can't play in the Champions League or can't
Yeah.
spend money like they did to a couple teams, right? Didn't they do that to a couple teams?
Well,
for
like
a year?
Chelsea had a
Chelsea
transfer
did it
ban
for a year.
and
If for
that's
some
different
reason
stuff.
it got to that level, which hopefully it won't even come close, then you got to wonder if the players that are on the team already, right, are going to go, well, if I'm not going to be in the Champions League, like I want to leave,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't blame them.
Because the days of them going to Serie B and Del Piero and Buffon staying with the team, like those guys are gone. Like
Yes.
there's no more, like there's no more of that love for Juventus on who we have on the roster right now.
No, but I don't think it's that bad. But I think it's they just decide they want the budget to put this much money, not to pay someone more than 7 million.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they understand to pay 7 million to someone who deserves 7 million.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just the 7
They
million
know
staying there.
to give 7 million to someone who
And
deserves
we've
it.
been talking about this the whole time. It's not just about the max salary, and what that does to the other salary. It's making sure that am I paying someone $4 million like a Rugani or a Sandro when I could get the same production from somebody making $200,000 who's young?
Right, that's
Like,
what it is.
That's the difference to me.
You got to hope they bring in people that can recognize that.
That's what it is. It all comes down to who's picking the players, right? And who can and if they're willing to give a shot to a young person, they don't have to make them play 10 years somewhere before they decide they can play.
But here's the perfect opportunity to poach everyone from Atalanta. Just take
Well, here's my
everyone.
next
No, Atalanta's
question.
even too late in the process, right? Because they've already shown themselves they're not that cheap. Like you
My-
want to be like what Atalanta finds them when they're like some guy that no one's ever heard of.
No,
right?
I'm saying up top, those guys. I want to steal their admins.
Oh, yes. Well, the guy, the one of the main guys has been a free agent for a while, right? The one guy who ran Atalanta, he didn't go anywhere.
I have no clue.
What was his name, Bob? The guy.
My question is because you're going to hear rumors of people here and there, but like I'm more because how long is it going to take before they put people in place?
Last I saw, it said the
No,
plan.
not
Again,
right away.
No,
Yeah, I
it said
think
it's
it's
in the
gonna be
next few. It said in the next.
It's
few
got to
months.
be quick.
Okay,
You see, for us, it's something a surprise. But before they did this, they know their replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like this
They know
guy.
this is coming.
They may have some. They may not have every
No,
position. set.
the question is, do you put the right people in?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, the way they're probably going to do it is they have probably heads of certain people in departments in mind, right? And then those people should bring in people.
so then that means also looking at the head coach and saying, do I want this
Yeah.
guy here because I'm
Yeah.
in charge now?
Yeah, right now Allegri's like on the field. He's like the least of their problems, right? Like have whoever comes in charge.
But so that's the thing too.
Yeah, but then it's the problem. You see, I think they don't have an idea about Allegri too.
Yeah, but now no one's gone, right? So no one's
But
left.
they already talk about Giunto. And with Giunto, they talk about Spalletti.
From Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's always a plan. People bring in people that have produced, but there's also a process, right? Like, gotta get the guy in charge.
But
First of all, how are they going to get Giuntoli? Is he free agent from Napoli? Like, how are they going to get him?
You sign him.
I don't know.
You offer more money. Yeah.
but Frank, it's also funny that like
no,
this is all
no.
happening, and they're playing the best soccer they've played
Yeah,
in
well,
a while.
which is also funny.
No, listen to me. They were talking about Marotta, no? Marotta was good. So we need someone in Giunto where he got to Kim Caravasco. You know, Juventus was on top of Caravagella, whatever.
Yeah.
And they lost. Why Napoli got?
Yeah.
Before something like that, it would never happen.
Well, because it's who they believe in, right? Juventus for years has been, they want you to play on Real Madrid or be a PSG cast-off that didn't make it there. They'd rather have that guy than a guy that no one's seen.
So you need someone who not player,
yes.
who believe in young people.
I think that the exciting part about this is like, and I probably speak for all four of us and maybe some other Juventus fans, but like we haven't been happy with the direction of the team for years. So this is a clean slate, like bring in someone new and totally change the entire plan. And in a year, we might say, holy crap, this team turned it around. They have a totally different mentality, strategy. Like, that's the hope of
Listen,
this.
that's what happened when they brought Marotta, because there was a couple of years we had Secco and who was the other guy? Right? He was turning around.
Let's not forget.
Frank, shut your door.
2 months ago, a month ago, we were all a leg out.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
No,
still like
I don't think they change idea about LA.
No, but that's going to be for the new people to decide.
People are going to have to decide that, right? Like, whoever's in charge of Director Sportivo is going to have to decide, like, do I want this guy or not want this guy?
Because a point, then again, Allegri, Agnelli was defending Allegri. Now he doesn't have Agnelli.
Well, but here's the opposite now. You know me, I've been like running with the Allegri out thing. Now you have to take everything. I'm a big believer you have to take everything together, right? Like complete picture. Now with all of this instability, with everybody getting fired, right? It's almost better to almost leave Allegri for the next 6 months.
Oh, he's not leaving this season. No matter who comes in.
If you think about, they already decided they want to copy Milan, young, right?
Did they really? Who said that?
So they know already. Agnelli is not good with young people. They know already. Agnelli is, if you give a good player, he just teach.
But who is they though?
Yeah,
because there is no they. Who?
No, Elcam.
Yeah, so
The one who pay money.
So the one person that was announced they brought in is this Maurizio Scandamino, right? That's the one guy that said he's definite, right? Correct?
Listen to me, guys. You have to understand one thing. Although there is people that put the money, right? And Elcam and whatever. They listen to the paper, but they listen to the fan. What do you think? All the fan, the paper, they're wrong when they say Allegri out. Or they're not happy.
But that's not the point. We're not saying that. We're saying we still don't know who they're going to put in charge, right? Like how they think about it. We don't know.
No.
Yeah, you can't start saying they like Allegri.
They do one plus one make two. Now let's say if they get a Giunto, the first thing he wants to coach.
Yeah.
Because he has to defend that coach.
Okay,
he has to defend that coach.
And you're saying he wants Spalletti, who will not come this season. He's not allowed to. You can't go from one team to another team in one season. So
no, in general.
That's what I'm saying. So Allegri, that's not the whole point I was making is that Allegri's here for the entire season.
Okay, Dan, I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. Now with everything's happened, I think Allegri is definitely here to the end of the season. Besides the fact they're in third place,
I think,
but with everybody else getting fired, I don't think you can change the coach on the players too.
We have to understand the one thing, the politica they did. Who they bought? Pogba and Di Maria and Paredes. All this guy, Allegri wants all this guy.
Yeah.
How does this...
The young player, they play by mistake. Not because he said that guy is good, I want to put him.
I agree. If they bring in a guy who really believes in the young kids and they change the politics, then Allegri's not your coach. But we all, I think, are in agreement that he's staying for the rest of the year at this point, right?
Yeah, automatically.
You know, they're not going to fire him like now.
No, they're not going to fire.
So my next question, because we got to keep it moving, is how does this affect their winter transfer market? Because the rumors that I hear is McKennie could go if they get the right price. Rabiot again is being annoying with his salary, so maybe he can go. Paredes is not going to get picked up, his option.
Yeah.
So
I don't think they do much, honestly, because if you don't get these guys in place, okay. So let me ask you a question before I answer that question. When's the transfer window open till? What's the date?
It's late. I don't know. It's
like later in January, right?
Yeah.
Because of the World Cup.
It's before the knockout stages
of the Champions.
Yeah, no, already, you see, when they put the words revolution, they want to change everything. They already know Quadrado's not going to be there. Sandro not going to be there.
Right. What I'm saying is, let's be realistic. You think let's say they get all these guys in place. Let's say they do it really quick, 3 to 4 weeks. That's fast. Like, they're not going to have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of anything.
No, I think you're going to see some selling.
I think maybe if they can get some, because they're going to have someone pick up the phone in the time, right?
Craig, let's just say these people, when they change the people, let's just say that they say, oh, we want another coach. We want another direttore sportivo. You think they don't talk already with this Spalletti or whatever?
Yeah, they may. Right?
They have an idea.
But let me ask you something. I don't know how it works in Italy, right? But Giuntoli, he's under contract, right?
Yeah.
So, does Napoli have to release him from his contract?
I don't know. They pay some penalty, something.
There's probably
anything can be changed.
there's compensation. There's got to be compensation.
But that's not to be Spalletti. It could be somebody else.
Right. Yes, we can get into who the potential. I'm just saying the window. Like, we're in the transfer window now. You got to put somebody in place. They got to pick a direction, and then they're going to decide who am I going to stay with, who am I going to sell.
I think Allegri's going to. If anyone has a say, he's going to have a say.
Yeah, we don't want Allegri to have a say.
You see, you read the paper, right? Juventus is Nick Williams. I mean, do you think a serious
Nick Williams?
Nico Williams.
Nico, you think someone who wants to a team is going to say, "Oh, I want Williams"?
No, it's a waste. It's a waste.
The fullback you're talking about?
No, it's
the striker.
The wing.
Or the winger. Yeah, no, that's not someone who you want to build.
I mean, you don't go there. I want this. I want that. I want this.
No.
Anyway, does Del Piero come in the mix here at all?
Potentially as a precedent. So it all depends on. So here's the other thing. Titles don't really mean anything, right? Because like you work at one company, your title could be X. It could be general manager, and you can have all this stuff you do, right? And then you work at another company, and your title could be the same title, but you can have half of the responsibility, right? So like if they want president to be the guy who's like the mouthpiece for the fans, right, and like kind of come out and communicate with the press, then like, yeah, why not? Del Piero could probably do that.
I mean, for me, he went for the coaching badges. He didn't go for he's not doing front office.
He go for the coaching stuff.
And then Chiellini's the one who's done the business school. So
yeah, but
I know, but I could see him going into there.
Well, my question is again, what's the position? Like, that's why I ask you about. I keep going back to Scandavino guy who's run the newspapers, the digital marketing stuff. His title, I think, is general manager.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, does that mean he hires the sport guy who's going to pick the players and the coach?
I have no idea.
Well, general manager, exactly what it means. It's general. There's a lot of shit.
Right. He could be doing the finances, the sponsorships, the average, right?
Ordering the toilet paper.
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot of stuff.
Frank, I tell you something. They got this guy, new guy. You think they didn't get to the rest already?
I don't know if they got the rest. I couldn't tell you.
Think so.
You think they have them all picked, every position?
I think so.
I think he's right. Like, they knew this was coming. They have ideas. It's going to be quick. I think they're going to have replacements.
I think so. I think
I think they have ideas. I don't know. Are they all free? Do they have to leave other jobs?
But who cares about that? Put it this way. If they don't have stuff going on in their minds, what are they doing?
So what they put some guy who doesn't even know general manager. What thing he's going to do, this guy?
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe he's putting together the plan, right?
Well, he has a plan.
Well, I'm assuming he has something. Why did they
Why
pick
they
this guy?
hire him? He's got to have something.
What is he there for? Just for a smiling face?
Yeah, but I think they talked to him already. What's your idea?
Yeah,
But
to
so-
get the job, you have to kind of present your vision, right? For that role. You can't just be like, hey,
Frank,
I'll figure it out when I get hired.
You saw,
So he has to present the vision. They're not going to tell you to you.
yeah,
No.
but also you saw they hired him pretty quickly.
Yes.
So like they're talking.
No,
to
you
people.
guys could totally be right. They could have these other spots pretty close.
They
To me, it
didn't
doesn't
say
really
who's
matter.
going to take Nedved's place.
They're not going to post, they're not going to post a job on Indeed looking for people. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're going to
Damn
do
it!
that.
I was scouring that earlier. I didn't see it.
But what I'm saying is, too, I don't really care if it's a week or 2 months as long as they pick the right people.
Of course.
Like, if
That's
you
hard,
pick,
though.
because, they also hired, before
Hey,
Nelly,
Frank, hey, you think they just have this guy, general manager? That's
no,
it.
but they also bought, you remember they hired Secco and the guy who worked with him, and it was a disaster.
Oh,
Before Marotta, who did we have? Secco and who was the other?
Paratici.
No, before Marotta. Not after.
Yeah.
Secco,
Blanche.
who?
President Blanche.
Yeah, horrible. Those were horrible years. So don't tell me they always pick right.
Yeah,
And
but they must
Paratici
learn
was horrible
something.
after Marotta.
They
So,
must learn something.
do you guys see Agnelli's tenure as a success or a failure?
No. Failure.
Hey,
He
you
won 9 championships in a
Failure.
row.
It was okay.
You think in Juventus, right? Juventus. When all these people resign, all of them, they just have say, let's put that guy some general manager.
No,
That's
this
it.
No, that's not what we're saying. I don't know why he's thinking that.
Why is he harping on that?
But I'm not going to guarantee that everyone they pick is a genius.
This guy is going to replace everybody.
We're consolidating.
Director of one. Board of
This
directors
is
of
where
one,
we
right?
save our money. I'm hiring
Yes.
one person.
I'm hiring one person. Yeah, but look, they've hired a lot of less than awesome people.
Yeah, well, it
Well,
happens
look-
everywhere, Frank.
Yeah, so let's see. Now you could say, okay, well, Agnelli picked those people, and he's gone. All right. So now who's picking him? Elkan? Okay, great. Or this guy? Let's just don't bring me another
That's
Secco
it.
and
We
Blanc.
just have to wait and see. Like, if it's going to happen as soon as you guys say, we won't have to wait long, and by next Monday we'll have some answers.
I think
I
it might
think-
take a month or so.
I
But
know. I think it's going to be pretty quick.
I mean,
How
I
many
would.
positions
I
are we
think
talking
so.
about? How
I
many
would
positions are we
well,
talking
that's the
about?
thing. We don't know. An entire board resigned.
Entire
Like,
board
you
is
have
but we didn't really know the board, right?
No, but still, like it all needs to be replaced. Like,
Yeah,
you
the board.
can't
This
just.
is bigger than the field. This is
Yeah.
obviously bigger than the
Like,
soccer.
you guys are like, we're optimistic about this, but this could also ruin the fucking team too. Like
It
it could
could.
get way worse. You
I don't
know,
think I'd be mad about that.
If it got worse,
like honestly, it could ruin the team.
I also don't think I'm a Juventus fan. I'll be honest.
he's come to a conclusion. Yeah, I mean, okay. So we've heard Giuntoli, right? Okay, from Napoli, but who else? Who else are the
I
candidates?
mean, what do you do? You're just gonna pull names
Yeah.
out of your hat. You
Well,
keep
no, I'm
going.
just saying, in just
We
in
don't
general, us. Where would we think that some competent people would come from?
I told you I'd poach you Atalanta. Every single person.
Well, I think the guy from Atalanta was free already this year. We wanted to get him, we didn't get him.
Grab him. I don't care.
What was the guy's name from Atalanta that left the team last summer, Bob?
He get a big aspirin and this guy from Atalanta.
Yeah, it could be.
Possibility.
The only person they kept is their coach.
Yeah, but they have the coach. But the coach can come next year, right?
Yeah, you're talking next year. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
listen, there's who's the guy from Sassuolo too that everybody talks about?
Carnevale.
Carnevale, there's Giuntoli, there's the guy,
Listen,
someone from Atalanta.
there's no shortage of coaches that I would love to bring to Juventus, like Italian coaches too. So that's
Yeah.
not an issue.
Coach is not a problem.
That'll be there. It's the front office stuff that is very important. We
It's
have no
so,
idea.
it's so much
I
more than
think
just
the
being able
coach
to
has
pick
to be-
players. It's being able to.
To be someone who like to work with young kids, have a personality.
Well, that's the coach, but
That's
that's
it.
only again if the team is built that way too. So the person in charge has to give them those type of players, right?
But honestly, I think next week though we're gonna have more answers on who's filling in.
what if this guy brings in another guy from the newspaper?
The paper boy.
You know, like we don't know anything about him, right? I mean, we really don't.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you gotta hope he's got some sort of business sense at least.
I mean, that's the only thing I could see him coming over.
Yeah,
for.
but Frank, if you think about it, Arriva Bene, right? They got him for the economic side.
Yeah.
And you think he did a good deal? Get Di Maria 7 million and get rid of the ball?
No.
Paredes was awesome. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Someone at the top, that's why that role is so important, because the person at the top gets all this information and ideas from all these people, and he has to kind of make the decision, right, of like, okay, this guy wants a 35-year-old guy who makes $9 million a year. This guy's telling me to get this 17-year-old guy no one's ever heard of from Serie B, and this is the direction we're going to go in.
Yeah, but
And you have to get everybody on the same page. Like, there's a lot of skills there. It's not just like, hey,
it's easy to say that, but you guys also have to remember what team you're dealing with. This is Juventus. This isn't Atalanta. Like, they're expected to win.
Yeah.
So we would think like that, but like fans would be pissed. They'd lose money.
Well, I think win with younger. I think that's the difference. I'm hoping they find someone that thinks you can win with a mix of young and experienced players.
If
Not
you
all,
win.
of course.
Yeah.
But the fun, like we keep saying Allegri got lucky by having Jolie playing Moretti. Like I would like a guy who actually was like a team that was like, no, we want to count on people like Rovella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so you say in order to win, you have to get all big player.
No, that's what
Agnelli
Juventus
thought.
thinks.
That's what Agnelli thought.
I don't agree with it.
I
You
don't
should see
agree
my
with that.
you should see my
You need
football
a
manager
cheap
team.
ball.
It's
Cheap
23
ball
for every single player.
Yeah, but don't you agree, Bob? That's how they ran the team. They thought they had to get all these done players from all these big teams.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
I
That's
mean,
what
they had marketing. They had marketing in their minds more than
Yeah,
the
but
play
marketing-
sometimes.
What policy is? Politics is to get Pogba Di Maria. Come
Yeah.
on.
That's
and that's
marketing.
after Ronaldo. That's after who? How many other old players? Listen, Ramsey and Rabiot were the same thing. They thought they were international players. They were getting free. Like it's all different versions of the same crap. So we just don't.
I forgot. What a joke.
Yeah. What is
Well,
it,
already-
right?
but if you look at the past too, sometimes to get rid of one player, Juventus, he has to pay. They have to pay after the summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How
Now,
many players
they
have
have
we
to
had
change
that
that conception
Well, how
because they're under 23.
Well, listen.
Under 23 should be good.
How many years have we had players that they've tried to get rid of for years and years and years, and no one would take? Even when and that's why, and the reason being is because we overpaid more than their value, and other teams like,
Yeah,
I'm
they
not going
got
to take your
somebody to
mistake.
get overpaid.
I'm not going to take your mistake.
Rugani.
So what you pay someone is so important if you want to be able to send them somewhere else,
Now,
right?
You
So
know-
like all these mistakes compound.
now you say you cannot put all young people. That's not Juventus because whoever to win, whoever they are there to win. But you have to have a coach that's willing to pick up someone young and to bring them in.
I don't
All
know.
the time.
But you say that, and like, look at Milan's team. They're all pretty young, and they win.
That's what I'm saying.
So
But Milan
possible.
Milan doesn't have that threshold of Champions League, right? Like Milan winning the Serie A is still good for them. They're no longer this Milan of the '90s. That
Well,
expects
but
to
Milan
win.
has a better Champions League history than Juventus.
They do, but in the last 20 years, they
Yeah,
haven't
but
upheld that. They have to win.
when you realize you don't have too much money to spend,
Yeah.
or you don't want to go bankrupt for a team.
I think because we're gonna wrap it up. We'll talk about World Cup now, but like I think for me it's more exciting. Like I'm optimistic, and I don't want to see people lose their jobs. But if they're doing shady shit, then they deserve to lose their jobs. Hopefully next week we'll have more stuff to talk, more people in place.
You know what I don't
But it's exciting.
understand for this because we read the paper and we see a lot of things. I don't understand when Juventus or any other team say, I want this guy, I want this guy, I want this guy. I don't like that.
Yeah, but you see that in the paper. That's just to sell paper.
The paper,
Yeah, that's
like,
just
you,
the
Paper, not
you
paper.
put too much stock in the papers.
Yeah, the
They're
papers
there
don't
to
have
sell
real-
papers.
It's not
They're
like they really
there
have
to get your
sources.
clicks.
They make crap up.
Yeah.
Unless
Well-
they name I spoke to Agnelli and he said this. Like,
Yeah.
if there's a name source that's willing to go in the paper and say, yes, you could say I said this.
Like journalism
It's
is
made
not
up.
good anymore.
It's
like,
made up.
It's
They could
really
literally
bad.
go on the internet and see something on Twitter and then go, I've seen a source that said this.
Yeah, it's really shoddy what they do and not professional sometimes.
It's not like it used to be.
When
Like,
you say, I want this, but this price I can have. So what are you talking? Don't talk at all.
Anyway, to close out this conversation, I agree with Dan. I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a good thing for Juventus.
yeah, I hope so. I think we'll know. I think you can kind of tell right away. I remember when we had Lippi, when we had Mudgy, you knew right away because the moves they made always were pretty close to the way we thought. This guy's good. He's young. He's on this team. Go get him. And he would come from the Lombardos of the world. It always made sense. You were always like, yes, this guy's good.
Yeah,
You'll be
I
able
see
to
we
tell
talk
right
about
away.
the field. But at the same time, we have to think how it's going to end this problem with the league, the finance.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Because it's connected. You cannot just think one thing.
Yeah, well, that's the big question mark. If there are sanctions, it's going to screw them, and whoever's coming in, it's not going to have a fair shot, which sucks.
Yeah.
You know, if they put on sanctions where they didn't keep him out of the Champions League or anything, or penalize him too bad and just didn't let him spend money, and they were forced to really go young, it may not be the worst thing. Like,
But again, we have no idea if there's going to be any.
Frank, we haven't already passed from them. They sent us in Serie B.
I know they could do it again.
So
it
could come back.
All right, let's
Be the best.
Yeah, but we came back. We had Buffon and Del Piero. We had
But we have Buffon and Del Piero. But if you pay attention to the young people, not that much to the money to spend it to a player that already died.
Agreed.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to move on. Before we get to the World Cup updates and talk about some of the games, really quickly, we were supposed to do our challenge this week, but Pietro couldn't follow directions.
Yeah, I need you to fix your team still. I sent you another email.
I did. That's what I sent you the email.
No, read your email again, all right, buddy?
It's
No,
incorrect.
that's hell.
Let's put it this way.
Listen, I need
We're gonna do it
a
next week.
late midfielder from you. That's all I need, and then your team is complete.
But also put it this way. Dan texted us earlier and was like, Daddy hates Inter so much, he refused to put a player on their team.
Yeah,
No, I thought it wasn't the. I thought it wasn't the poll.
He hates
You weren't
Inter
looking
so
at the
much.
list. You were just doing it for
I
memory?
gave you the paper. I don't know why you don't read it. He hates Inter so much that he'd rather play with 10 than put an Inter
I
player
like
on
it.
his
I
team.
can
So
back that up.
I laughed at that really hard, but I
Next
saw
year
that.
we do it. No one in the top 4 and no one from Inter.
So you
Right.
wanted me to say again?
No.
no,
You just
we'll
gotta
talk to you.
tweak your team you sent with 1 or 2 for next
Later
week.
after
Next
the
week,
show,
you do
I'll
that.
tell you what you need. Okay.
For anyone who wants to join, you can submit your team. Really quickly, the challenge. You're supposed to create a team, choose one player for each team not currently in the top 4. So you can pick anyone from Napoli, Milan, Juventus, or Lazio. You pick your formation. You choose a head coach. You have a 1 bench forward, 1 bench midfielder, 1 D, and 1 backup goalie. You put your team together. I put my team together. It is not good.
I don't like my team either.
It's
I like
tough.
mine. We'll see how much fun of me you make me this year.
Put it this way. I don't think my team is good, but I still think it's going to be better than Frankie's. 100%.
Yeah. I think this is all rigged, personally.
Okay.
So I expect Putin, some of our fans that listen every week, I expect you guys to submit.
Yeah.
Is the
Submit
producer
it
putting one
on
in?
Twitter. Submit it on. You can email us at tifositime@gmail. Send it to us. We'll put it on the show.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen, and we could criticize and make fun of you because ours are going to suck too.
Yeah. It's always a good show.
Anyway, moving on to the World Cup. I don't know which games you want to talk about. We can talk about the U.S. if you want.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have to run through every game. I mean, the U.S. they had a good showing against England. To me,
Yes.
they tied 0-0. They were the better team.
They were the better team, yeah.
They deserved more. They had, Pulisic hit a post, all that stuff. They should have gotten 3 points out of it.
McKennie played well.
Their whole midfield played
Your
well.
midfield played well.
They
yeah.
controlled the midfield, which is hard to do against England.
And I was texting you, but I think they have some play. Like I like some of their players, like specifically number 5, Robertson.
I like him.
fullback.
He's been good.
I like him a lot.
I think he's very good. He's on Fulham already, so he's not on a small team.
Yeah.
USA played better than England.
Yeah, they did. They did play better than England.
And McKenna never played like that in Juventus.
No, because he's confident on the
He's
U.S.
starting to wake up, yeah, and he thinks he's important on Juventus. Like, you know,
He's not set to one place or
Yeah.
Building up that value. Selling.
No, but it's true. His role is different on the U.S. He
we've been
knows.
saying that, right, Chris? We've
Yeah.
been saying that from the beginning. We're like, Yanelli, and again, this is Allegri. He did it to Zakaria. He did it to
Yeah.
McKennie. Like, he puts people in the wrong. He did it to Kaiser for part where he put him in the center for. Like, he messes people up and put him in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, if I had a guess, McKennie is gone. When this window opens up and he's going to Spurs, he's going to be gone.
Well, listen, I'm actually okay with that because I don't think he's going to play that great. I think he's replaceable. Let me say that. He's not – McKennie is a player that I like having him on a team. He's American, but he's replaceable.
Yeah, I just like him because he's
We
American.
don't think
Yeah,
like that.
agreed.
For a coach we have, McKenna is not indispensable.
No.
He's not starter.
Well, even worse, when he
He's a-
puts him in, he doesn't put him in the right spot.
Locatelli is a starter. Nobody started with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the Rabiot.
But they played well. The U.S. played well.
U.S. played really well. Their center defenders played well.
I like Ream a lot. I think he's decent with his feet. He's good in the tackle. He's good in the air.
Oh,
Ream is another. I think he also plays on Fulham.
They need a striker.
Ream
Well,
is a
I
defender.
thought Wright played decent up top. Controlling holding the ball and like.
But they need someone who's like lethal.
yeah. Reed and Zimmerman, they play good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Ream a little bit better than Zimmerman, and I like Robertson a lot. Like I would take. Is it Robertson or Robertson right now? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
But I would take him on Juventus as a right fullback right away.
No.
Yeah, he's better than what we have. He's 100% better
Well,
than
that's not saying much.
Quadrado.
I mean,
No.
Are you kidding? Watch the game next
No,
time.
come on. That's what we don't have to confuse. Just because you fart, you're going to win.
Listen, he played 2 games the same way. He played 2
Come
games the
on.
same way. I don't know if he plays every
Bro.
game like that.
You have to see
He's good.
USA. How many times play like I want to see them tomorrow when they play.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, the 2 games that I saw him play, if he plays like that all the time on Fulham, he gives you as much running as Spinazzola gives you. He's strong. He's fast on the ball. Like
you heard the Juventus once Musala?
Musa, the
Musa
midfielder.
or Musala from Germany.
No, questo cara da USA.
Musa.
I don't think it's the
Didn't he play? What team did he play with?
I mean, of all the midfielders on the U.S. team, he's the worst one for me. So.
Yeah, I don't. But Musa played in. Who's the guy, the U.S. kid that played midfield on one of the smaller teams in Serie A?
That's Busio. Busio's on Venezia.
Busio, yeah. Musa, I wasn't that impressed with. I don't think, but I mean, I don't think he's necessarily a need to get.
What
him.
happened to that guy that played in Italy? Mezzala.
Busio. He's still on Venezia.
Who?
Does he play anymore? in Venezia?
Busio. Yes. They're in the second division. You don't watch him.
I haven't seen him. Yeah.
Anyway, I think going into that game, no one really gave them a chance to win it. If you watch the game, they deserve to win.
Oh, believe it or not, you know what I like from they play good USA, but I like the way they play the forwards, all 3 of them.
That's
even
nice.
Even they not shot on goal or they didn't do.
I think they
But
played well.
they stopped the England in there.
No,
All 3 of them.
I'm not saying they're bad. Could you imagine this team with someone who could like finish?
Oh yeah, if they had a proper number 9,
They'd be deadly.
Even of the level of
Put Caputo there.
a
5 years younger.
a Tony,
I know it.
Arnautovic would
Yeah.
be another guy. Yeah,
No,
good
but
guy.
did you see that guy from Serbia, Mitrovic? He's old, but he's good.
Yeah, but how does he play over?
All right, so wait, we're going
Oh,
all over the place. Hold on,
she's
guys,
injured.
please hold on. Wait, we'll get to that.
All right.
Can we just finish with US
Yeah,
and then we'll
that's
go
fine.
to something else?
No, but I think Chris is right. If they had a Luca Toni, if they had an
Yeah.
Arnautovic, if they had a proper 9 with the rest of the midfield and the players they have around them, I think they would get their 1 or 2 goals a game and they would be much better.
But you do have to remember too, like this is very encouraging because like their average age is under 24, so like they're only going to get better, which is
They're the 3rd
awesome.
youngest team, right?
Yeah, for like American soccer, this is great. This is so good.
No, what's the age, the average?
It's like
23
under
or
23.
23 or 23 or
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
So-
See, that's
Goalie's
what
good.
Juventus should do.
If you're interested in U.S. soccer, they play tomorrow against Iran, 2 p.m. Eastern. They win, they're in to the knockout
Yeah,
stages.
it's they have to win to be.
This is going to be a very tough game, by the way.
It is gonna be. They've
Iran
already
is
been
not-
knocked out once by Iran.
And with all this other shit that's going on, this is going to be very tough.
So yeah, I'm very excited. And remember that the group stages, now that the teams play at the same time, so there's no collusion. So there's both games are at 2 p.m. There's two
I'll be
games
working,
at
which
10
is kind of a
a.m.
bummer.
I know. I'm going to be sitting in my office watching, but so that's going to be exciting to watch tomorrow. I don't want to. We don't have to recap the entire rest of the World Cup, but stuff that popped out to you guys. Like for me, one of the biggest disappointments is the fact that Vlahovic is still hurt, which you guys were just about to talk about, and that's the reason he's not really playing is because he's not 100%.
If
That sucks. You don't get
see,
a lot
the
of World
best-
Cups.
Right now, the best thing, if you send this out, he can go back.
Yeah, but I don't want them to be out. Like,
Try to be.
I don't know. Yeah, for him, I was honestly hoping he was going to go to the World Cup, score a couple goals,
show
and he come
people,
back to
yeah.
Juventus better, right? Like,
But it's just shitty timing. Like he's hurt and he doesn't get a fair shot. And what's he gonna have? 1 or 2 more World Cups in his life? Like if they
he's
qualify,
still young, right? What is
yeah,
it,
but
22?
if they qualify, like it's no
if
guarantee.
they qualify, that's the
you
other
know?
thing.
Their team's good, though.
Their team is good.
But like that's been a disappointment. I think one of the funny stories is Onana getting sent home. Inter's goalie, he got
Wait,
sent
why?
home.
I
So-
didn't know this.
The thing is with the Serbia, even we want Milinko Savic, but what they say, his price is not what Lotito wants because he really internationally never did anything.
Well, he just scored a goal.
What?
Let's say
Wait, what's with this?
So Onana, which African team's he on again? I forget.
Onana, Cameroon.
Cameroon. So apparently the coach, this is what I read on Twitter, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the coach wanted to play long balls, right? He doesn't like Onana playing the short balls. If you saw the first game, he touched the ball 61 times. Out of the box, he was touching the ball all the time. So the coach was like, play long balls. As soon as he played a long ball, the team countered and scored a goal, and then he kicked Onana off the team. I don't know if that's 100% true or not.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Like there was an argument with like the style, I believe, and he sent Onana home. That's what I read at least. I could be wrong about that, and maybe somebody was making a joke.
No,
on
I
Twitter,
read that a disagreement with the coach.
yeah, it's
I don't
definitely a
know
disagreement with the coach.
No, can they replace him, or are they just short a person?
No, they're
That
just
is
short a
true.
person.
Wow.
And,
That sucks.
and he's got a history though. I mean, of like he was suspended for the drug stuff, and like so he's not the easiest maybe to
No.
get along with, but
He's a good player, though.
I mean,
man.
But,
one of my
yeah.
biggest takeaways has been that some of the coaches are really, really dumb. Like Leao doesn't play.
yeah, Leao doesn't start.
I thought Vlahovic not playing, but now he's still injured, so fine, we can guess give him a pass there. Who
Yeah, but
else?
Frank, there's bad coaches everywhere.
No, there is. I mean, listen, France didn't play Trezeguet, right?
Yeah,
so like,
because
I
of
mean-
astrology.
I enjoy the Saudi Arabia coach. I think he's doing a good job. They play their heart out.
Hey, Qatar got a goal.
yeah, I did see that. I was a little disappointed with Japan's second game. Like I thought, like they lost the second game in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, I mean, after coming the huge win against Germany,
Hey,
they did
Costa
that.
Rica shot a goal once.
Really?
That's what they say.
The games overall haven't been like
They haven't been that
crazy
great, right?
good. I
Or
mean,
just, like,
I think you wait for the knockout stages to have like the real excitement.
there's been a
um,
lot of like games where I'm just like I was watching them over the week being off and stuff, and I was just like because I was just home, so I ended up seeing 3-4 games each day.
Yeah,
and I'm
but-
like,
You
I
see,
really would never watch this
We
game.
can have some surprise. Maybe Germany's going to be out.
Yeah,
Germany's played bad. They have not played good at all.
which I mean,
The
we will be
tournament,
disappointed.
maybe it's worth to see after when they finish this thing.
I mean, who do you think the best team has been so far?
I think it's Brazil, it's
Brazil and France.
French, Spain. The
Yeah, I mean, those are the usual suspects, and they probably have been the best. Neymar got hurt, so he's out the group stage.
And yeah, I don't put Argentina and Germany.
No, Argentina's been awful.
Argentina's
Argentina's been real
Germany's
bad.
been
Has
bad.
Dybala played yet for Argentina?
no.
No,
There's
he
another
hasn't.
coach that's an idiot. Like, not even for a sub. Like, come on. This is just Dybala gets no respect ever.
Yeah, it sucks for him because this is his last World
Yeah,
Cup.
but the
too.
ball, you have to understand one
No,
thing.
he's
They
20
have a Messi
pounds.
in there. In other words, Messi scored a goal, but he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do anything. But I'm saying, even as a sub, right? Like he brought in other forwards.
You cannot take out the Messi.
You can if he's playing like crap.
What'd you guys think of Richarlison's goal? You thought it was nice or what?
Who?
That bicycle on Brazil?
Brazil? Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you know what? You know Cassano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Cassano.
I read what he said.
You know what he say? He made
was
a
a bad
mistake
first
and
touch.
stopped the ball and
Yeah.
saw it by
Okay.
mistake.
He totally discredited
That guy, you
the
think
athletic
he
play.
just didn't complain.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
really has. I think he is an Italian. I think he's like an Italian social media genius. I think he just tries to say stupid shit so people like.
Yeah, he
spread
just
it
wants to be relevant.
Because I don't think he really believes some of the stuff he says. Either that or he's an idiot.
No, but see, the
Oh,
thing is,
you know the other journalist, Italian journalist, Adami. I don't know if you heard when Messi scored, right?
Mm.
He went banana. Hey, the best. And everybody, the other journalists say, "Oh, stop! Oh, they criticize him too much enthusiasm, you know."
yeah.
I actually say he compare his goal. Who scored the other goal? Fernandez.
That was beautiful.
It was better than.
Yeah, 100%.
Which goal? What are you talking about?
He say Messi's better goal than.
Argentina's second goal, Fernandez, the young
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Beautiful goal.
I'm trying to remember it.
It was nice.
But they overall they've been a disappointment though. Like I don't see them going any.
They don't have a team.
They're not going to go far
And
with that team.
They made a good point too, which is interesting that I hadn't thought of. Like typically the World Cup's obviously in the summer, right, where people have been playing in the heat. And the first couple of games is interesting. Like you're coming from like colder weather in Europe most of the time, some of these players, and then all of a sudden you're getting back into the heat. It's a little. It could take a little bit more time to adjust too.
But also the one issue that I have is having
guys.
these 15 minutes of extra time at the end of each half.
Yeah.
Like these guys are dying out here.
Yeah.
Today I saw some game, right? A little bit of Uruguay, Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal. You know, Bentancur got better, a lot better.
No
Bentancur plays really good for Tottenham.
He's the kind of
Bentancur is
coach.
playing beautiful.
Yeah.
Listen, when you have a coach that like you believes in you and play, you know what I mean, like, and you're in form, like it's not. It happens all the time.
But we said Bentancur was
Yeah,
good.
we liked Bentancur for a lot of years. We got tired of him because he never got where we thought he was going to get 4 years ago.
He was getting worse.
He was getting worse. So we were like, all right, your time has passed.
But there was a
But
time
again,
where
was that
people-
Allegri? Probably.
There was a time where people were like, "You're going to sell and make a profit
Yeah,
off this dude."
I
Like,
think
a lot of
how
money.
many people improved. He got better. Just the guy, he just got right with Rabiot. That's it.
Did he really get him right?
F.
Did he really?
I mean, Rabiot has been one of the best players of the tournament today. He's been
I
very
was the
good.
only one who gave it trust.
Yeah, but
He put it. Remember when we were we sold him in England. He came in the next week. He put him on the field.
Yeah.
If it was much, you would say no. Go on the
Yeah,
bench.
exactly.
yeah, that's true. But it's only been this year. He's been a disappointment.
Only this year. I was going to say, Chris, like last year he sucked. The year, you know what I mean? And don't
The
forget,
second half
Rabiot
of the
is the
year.
true. I think Rabiot is like a lot of other like basketball players, football players. When their contract's about to run out, they have the best year they're going to have so they can get another contract.
Well,
That's
yeah,
Rabiot.
when you don't have the coach on your favor, believe me.
No,
That's
that
true.
doesn't help. That doesn't help. But Rabiot, I'm telling you, he's having his year because he wants to get his next contract.
No,
100%.
It has something to do with it.
If
Don't
you
tell me
think
it
if he
doesn't.
stayed, if Juventus re-signed him, he's going to go back to mediocre next year. And he's not even that much better than mediocre right now, by the way.
Well, he's playing well.
He's playing well, but he's playing well. I think
He's playing
when
well.
he's
You know
surrounded
why
by
he's playing?
better people,
Because that's the
Fagioli
whole
and-
Team Caleri did. He gave a trust. He's play all the time. He told this good. They play good.
But the thing is, he's one of the most frustrating players because he has it all. The physical attributes. He has it everything. He doesn't put it together.
I think it's his head. He doesn't. But like it's also look. He's playing with a French team that has a lot of good people around him. He's playing better. He plays okay when he's surrounded by Fagioli and people that can play the ball. When he had McKennie and other people that couldn't kick the ball, he played. You know what I mean? So he's not a game changer. He's gotten a lot of confidence from his coach, and if he's not expected to do too much, he'll do a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there any other games you guys want to mention before we head off?
No, I mean like specifically for the third round of games, the U.S. game is the one that we're most interested in. There are still groups.
2:00.
Yeah, tomorrow 2:00 Eastern. There are still groups. You know, there's
Should we do a
spots.
rundown of how all the groups are doing right
I
now?
mean,
With
no, we don't really have
Tomorrow
to.
USA 2:00.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every group has basically their last games left. Everyone's played two games.
Yeah, so it's just going to be interesting because there are still a lot of spots up for grabs.
I don't think there's any set. There's like one set team, right? France,
No, there's a few teams with clinched.
Brazil, and Portugal. That's it.
In chat, Putin keeps spamming Belgium. I think they're overrated and they suck, but I don't know why she keeps saying that.
He's played bad.
They've been one of the disappointments. Yeah, they've not been.
See, I've sold Belgium like 8 years ago. I was never
Also, like Netherlands hasn't impressed me, just like every other tournament.
I think Vlahovic, he has an excuse because he didn't play. But Lukaku didn't play either. Lautaro is stuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
A lot of in Poland, Serbia, like these teams that have a lot of Italian players are not doing that great.
Yeah, it's not.
Sorry. Speaking of Poland,
Poland's in first place actually.
How about our boy Szczesny with the penalty shot and then the awesome recovery save?
Yeah, that was nice.
That's fine. Sell him.
I think the Italian league itself hasn't shown well this tournament. Not like the European tournament last year, where every single person was like, "Hey, they're the best player on the team," because and they play in Italy. You know, that's not happening in this tournament.
No, I think wasn't there talk of that potentially they could sell Szczesny also in the winter?
Yeah.
I mean, you hear the rumor that they want to get Vicario on loan and then have him play next year. So
now I wonder if all that stuff goes away now. Like the people that they had their eyes on, I wonder if they keep their eyes on because different people.
I hope not. I want that to happen.
No, me too. I wanted
get Parisi and Vicario
because that fits multiple things, right? He's younger. You save money. You sell Szczesny. You make money.
I want Karnasecki, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I would go get them both personally.
Okay.
Anyway, it'll be an interesting week. A lot of
cannot get both, okay?
Why would you want both? One wouldn't play.
No, you cannot get it because even you get rid of Szczesny, you have to take a Perin.
Yeah, you would have to get rid of Perin too.
It's not happening. Don't worry. All right. Anything else? We're good?
No, next week we will do our teams, assuming nothing crazy happens.
Hopefully we'll be celebrating USA in the second round.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, you don't have my team.
I do. We'll talk about it. You got to add one more person, then you'll have a team complete.
No, I did.
No, you didn't.
I did. I put it once for Sampadoria. Cool.
Yeah. But you still have to. You still have to change something. I'll talk.
I have a question.
I changed the coach. The caller.
So USA, if the Group B, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who did they play?
Oh, I have no idea how.
First, because it used to be they used to script it out. Now it just has like to be determined for everything.
I have no idea. I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
I mean, they're going to be in the second pot, so they're going to have a hard matchup. They're not going to win their group. So
no, not unless Wales beats England, then they win.
And Wales sucks because they have Ramsey, so that's not happening.
Ramsey hat trick.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right.
Follow, next week, 9 p.m. again. We'll be here.
Legri out.
Bye.
Good night.